Hello again everyone, James here, and I want to do something different for this video. Seeing as we're at the end of 2020, headed into 2021 with a lot of possibilities in the air, I wanted to take a quick second to recap some things that happened this year, some goals for the next year, and share a big announcement about what we're going to do in January. So 2020, by and large, has been a disaster, not just in the music business, but everywhere else. But I do want to say that I think the year here on Music Biz, this specific YouTube channel, and many others for that matter, has been fairly successful. I mean, we started the year at just over 300 subscribers, and we're ending it at the end of December 2020 with 2,021, give or take a few subscribers along the way, and that's pretty wonderful. I mean, that's way more than I thought we would reach during this year, and I'm hoping that 2021 is even bigger. So for this video, I wanted to start off by talking about a few things that I learned over the course of this year. And some of them may be obvious, and if you're trying to start your own YouTube channel, maybe you've already thought about this stuff, but it bears repeating here. First and foremost, I think one of the biggest things that I've learned, which I've learned from my friends at Musformation, like Jesse Cannon, as well as the punk rock MBA, Finn McKenty, is just how important those little thumbnails are. I mean, if you've followed Music Biz since the early days, we've undergone many different versions of our thumbnails. And while I still don't put myself in every single one like some YouTubers do, I have chosen a defining color for this channel, and we have a very similar look to every single one of our videos. And while it might not be eye-catching for everyone, I like to think that when people look at our channel or look at the homepage of YouTube for that matter, they know our content. It's obvious. We have that bright orange color, we have a lot of black and white images, we have big font, and we try to make all of our videos have a message that says something about being more productive or more successful in the music business. We've worked really hard on finding a brand consistency that not only matches our biggest sponsor, Holics.com, as you can see over my shoulder here, but also just stands out from everyone else. I mean, if you think about the color red, you usually think about Target. If you think about the color blue, maybe you think about Walmart. If you think about red again, maybe you think of Coca-Cola. Orange, not so many things that you think of. So I'm hoping that Music Biz is what pops into your mind. Also, along the way that I've learned that not all content is created equal. I mean, in the past month alone, I've had a video that did less than 50 views to date and a video that's pushing 2,000 views to date, and they were released in the exact same week. And what that says to me is that we're really starting to figure out what it is that our audience cares to see and what they don't care at all about, and what it seems like you care to see the most. And what is working for other channels in the music business realm as well is tying our content into bigger artists. You like when I do a post that's something about what you can learn from Greta Van Fleet or Lizzo or any of the other artists that we've covered to date. And we're gonna do more of that in 2021, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Something else that we've learned is that you like to stay up to date with current events. So the coronavirus pandemic has been a big part of this year, especially when it regards how the music business is functioning, both whether we're talking about live music or jobs or anything along those lines. So the coverage that we did of the coronavirus and that we will continue to do seems to be a big draw. And what you don't want to hear about is the minutia of the music business. You don't want to hear about the upcoming winter slowdown. You don't want to hear about, just the day-to-day grind, the obviousness maybe of how the industry functions. So what I'm learning from that is that you guys are a little bit more informed than maybe we thought when we started this channel. Maybe we thought there were people who didn't know anything about this that were looking. You have the basics. You understand how the industry works, at least in the grand scheme of things. You're looking for the little tips and tricks that can help you get an advantage over the competition, and that's what we're going to give you as we head into the new year. And finally, I think it's worth saying that it's taken us a long time to find a setup in terms of the picture that we like and that we can all agree on. I mean, if you go back to the very first videos on this channel, I am in an apartment, actually 2 apartments ago from where we are right now. And I'm, not really using a microphone. I'm just using an iPhone to record my videos. I don't have a lot of extra lights other than natural light, and they look good. They're fine, but they're not great. And then we moved into a downtown apartment. The videos got a little bit better quality. We had a little bit more of a background going. Still didn't love it. In June of this year, we switched to a 3rd apartment, and there I finally got an office space and a studio space, which you can see over behind me here. This door leads to a closet where we do all of our podcasting and everything along those lines. And we shot quite a few videos in there when we first moved in, but the background was very plain. And even though we upgraded our video equipment, we upgraded our microphones, we added lighting, it still wasn't looking great. And then finally, we tried shooting out here in the main office, and while we're still trying to nail down just the right mix of audio without making too much stuff happen here in the foreground, I think that we're getting really close. And I appreciate your patience while we've tried to figure this all out, because I've definitely seen comments from time to time where people want to talk to me about how they don't like how something looks or how it sounds, and we've worked really hard to nail that down. But I guess the lesson to take from that is that if you're getting into YouTube yourself, or if you're just trying to make content, it's okay to try everything that comes to mind. I mean, figure out what works for you and then improve upon it. And if something doesn't work or you want to try something new, whether or not it works out, go for it. Don't be afraid to take risks, because at the end of the day, you're going to keep making stuff. I mean, this video is not the only video I'm going to shoot this week. I'm going to shoot a lot more actually, which we're about to get to. But I'm willing to try new things. I'm willing to add overlays. I'm willing to take effects onto the videos. I'm willing to try something different because I know that there are more videos along the way. And not everyone is going to see every video I post, and that's perfectly fine. But it's all about getting that momentum going, about engaging your followers, trying to give people something that isn't found anywhere else online, and making the highest possible content, highest quality content that you possibly can. Now, whether or not you're going to do that every single time, most likely that's not the case, at least until you have a team around you. But if you're just doing it yourself, like I am here in my apartment, it is perfectly fine to do whatever it is you can, try new things, mess up, and then keep going. But the key there is keep going. And now all of this brings us to the big announcement. So we've been doing a lot of content in 2020. I don't have an exact count on the total number of videos, but it is above 100. And in 2021, we are likely to do even more. Now, I don't want to fill your feed with too much content. You'll never be able to watch it all, but we are going to do a little bit of an experiment. Because as we think we're getting a pretty good handle on what content works best for you, the audience, and we're listening to you and taking in your requests and making notes, we want to just hit it as hard as possible in 2021. We want to start big. So beginning this Friday, on January 1st, we're kicking off a 31-day run of videos, which means every single day for the month of January, we're going to share new video content with you. And I have a lot of ideas. I might throw up a few teasers over here of what we're working on, but I don't want to give it all the way up front. We're going to talk about social media marketing. We're going to talk about the industry at large and the predictions that we have for the future. We're going to give you some explainers about who I am, what Holox is, and a whole bunch of other maybe obvious stuff, but things that we've never really covered before that we really want to give to you. And we're also going to start doing some reviews of products and software that you might see online, whether you're scrolling through Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, and you see an ad promising you playlist placement or something along those lines. Maybe you're wondering if those services actually work. So I'm going to figure it out for you. I've partnered with a few different artists that I'll reveal in the weeks ahead, and we're going to cover that here. We're going to use their music, put it through these systems, and see what happens so that you don't have to spend your money and you don't have to fall victim to any scams. And lastly, we're going to keep covering artists. We're going to talk about the musicians who are finding success today and how they're doing it. We're going to give you the practical, easy to apply to your own life advice, as well as the more detailed, the nitty-gritty, whenever we're possibly able to do that. So we have a lot of content coming, 31 videos in January alone. I'm hoping to get them all done. To be perfectly honest, we haven't shot that many of them just yet, but kicking off this Friday, 31 videos in a row. I hope you'll stick around and watch it. So with that in mind, I want to thank you for a wild 2020. My goals for 2021 are to create more content, better content, and hopefully to grow our subscriber base by 5 times what it is right now. So I'd like to hit 10,000 subscribers in 2021. I don't know if we get there. If we get to 5,000, I'd be happy with that. If we get to 2,100, I'd probably be happy with that as well. All I really care about is giving you something useful that you can apply to your own career, whether that be as a musician or as an aspiring music professional, and hopefully get a little bit further along towards chasing your dreams. If you haven't subscribed already and this is the first video that you're seeing, it's probably a weird one. It's not always like this, but I am always here hosting the show, and I hope that you'll come back. So click that subscribe button down below, and if you haven't, well then you already know what I'm going to say. As this year comes to an end, please take care of yourself, because you deserve it.